Hey, what's up guys, it's Garrett here. In this video we're going to be discussing what helps you save the most money, using only cash to buy items, using only debit or credit cards to buy items, or using a little bit of mixture of both. So let's try to figure this out and just dive on into it. Before we can figure out which method or theory is the best one to use, first we have to take a look at how they work. Starting with the cash method, essentially what you do is you go to your bank at the beginning of each week and you withdraw a certain amount of money, whether that be $100, $200, $300, it doesn't matter, it's whatever you can afford. Now you take that money and you buy items with it such as groceries, fuel, food, knickknacks, and you don't go over that amount. And this all excludes items such as rent, car payments, house mortgage, none of that stuff. Also involved with the cash theory is since you're physically giving away something to receive something, you feel like you don't want to spend money. For instance, if you go to Taco Bell, you get $10 worth of food, you physically have to reach in your wallet and grab a $10 bill and give it away to receive your food. And that's pretty much making you feel like you don't want to spend money because you have to give something away to be able to get something in return. But what I found was the most difficult with this theory or method was that if I did withdraw $200 at the beginning of the week, well, if I only spent $150, that meant that I had $50 left over. And instead of carrying that on to the next week, what I would do is I would go and treat myself with that $50 because I felt like, well, you know, I had $200 to spend, I'm going to spend it. And because of that, I was actually spending a little bit more money than what I did with only using my debit card. But now if we take a look of how debit cards or credit cards can help you save a little bit of money, this is kind of not for everybody. Not everybody looks at this the same way that I do or other people look at it. And that is if I go out and I use my debit card 10, 15 times a week, well, that means I have 10, 15 transactions on my bank statement. And I hate looking at my bank statement like that because it's hard for me to take a look at how much I've spent throughout the week. And because of that, then I tend to not use it as much. And because of that, I don't spend as much. But on the other hand, that can get a lot of people in trouble because they don't know how much they've spent throughout the week. They keep spending thinking they haven't spent as much as what they really have done. Since I ran into several headaches along the way using both theories or methods, what I've done is I've compromised and I made both of them work towards my advantage. And this is how they work. So what I do is every Sunday night before the week starts is I go to my bank and I withdraw a certain amount of money that's going to last me for food, going out on the weekends, and buying just knick-knack stuff. And those are the only things I pay cash for, and those are the most transactions I have throughout the week, and because of that, I can cut back on those transactions on my bank statement. So now it's time to discuss what I use my credit and debit cards for, and that is for fuel and groceries only. And the reason I use my card for these two items is because they are by far the biggest transaction that I have throughout the week, and because I'm only usually using my card maybe 3 times a week for these two items, then I can clearly see a lot easier on my bank statement how much I'm actually spending. So to recap all of this, in my opinion, the best way to save money is all based upon preference. You know yourself better than anybody else. So if you know that you save more money using cash only, we'll do it that way. If you know you save more only using your debit or credit cards, do it that way. Or if you're like me and you want to try a mixture of both, we'll do it that way. And I highly suggest that if you guys aren't doing one of these methods, or if you're not experimenting the best way that you can save money, try one of these methods and see how it works for you. So that's about all that I have for you guys. And I really thank you if you stayed all the way to the end. And if you enjoyed this video or you think you took something away from it, I highly would appreciate it if you press that like button, and I will see you on the next one.